And this is maybe where our worlds cross a little bit, like you talking more about kind of nature connection and being outside the great outdoors, and me talking about maybe, uh, well, freedom from internal suffering. I say internal because it's a mind based suffering, the suffering that we all carry around with us. And it would be nice for, I'm sure a lot of people would say, but I don't have that. But I mean, pretty much everyone has that to some degree, like this internal stress and strife that is kind of out of our control. So that's kind of where I'm exploring is, well, how can we tend to that to make life a bit easier, internally? But I think where these paths cross is through embodiment. We've forgotten that we have this body. And this is the most natural, well, it is nature. It's the most natural thing in the world, and it is what connects us to the world naturally. And it does it like that, instantly. It's always doing it all of the time. If you think about the nature of the human being as an organism, we're incredibly sensitive compared to a lot of other animals, actually. Like we've got this membrane of skin is ridiculously sensitive compared to, let's say, a rhino, or, not even a rhino, that's an extreme example, compared to a dog, for instance. We've got this soft, very sensitive skin that can detect temperature changes and slight breeze with these tiny hairs. That's not an accident. That's not, in fact, that's a beautiful gift that we've got to be sensitive to our environment. I mean, something occurred to me as well as like, one of the beautiful aspects of the human, let's say, consciousness or mind, I'm not talking about the thoughts, I'm talking about the way it does cognitive tasks like pattern recognition. The human mind is incredible at pattern recognition. It's impossible to tell, but maybe the best in existence, maybe. It seems to be the area that we've exploited the most in order to create civilization, that pattern recognition, being able to pull out and work with patterns in nature. But lots of other animals don't have that. I remember like coming across a deer like in the woodland last year, and I was walking, I saw the deer saw me, I stopped dead still, and that was it. The deer couldn't see me, had no chance. So it was doing this, trying to get perspective. All it saw was what it thought was a pattern in movement. The movement stopped, and it couldn't see me. Whereas for me, there's a deer right in front of me, not moving, but I perfectly see a deer. So we've got these beautiful skills of sensory perception, but for most of us in the modern world, they're offline. In fact, they're seen as kind of worthless a lot of the time. Like, what's the point? Well, the point is, for me, the more we're able to embody these senses with kindness and sensitivity, the less alone we feel. Isn't that lovely? Like, the more connected we are to the world, like, not just as an idea. I mean, in every moment we feel connected, So, yeah, I think in learning to embody this is a great step into then learning to explore nature in a more embodied way, because it feels like curiosity comes alive once you start embodying the senses. You kind of, something wants to play. It feels like some aspect of us wants to play quite naturally, and where it wants to play is in the richness of the natural world that it's connected to. At least that's what it feels like to me.